I'm actually going to do a roll real quick just because I like to have it chilling for about 10 minutes before I cut it. So this way we'll have one. So you'll get to see it done a couple times. So this is the exciting new tool that makes this possible at home. I never thought I could do this at home. So we do oil the barrel just a little bit. So I'm going to take just a pantry canola or vegetable oil and just a real light greasing. This is that silicone brush. Hoping you can see this really well. Okay. And that's it. So this actually goes like really quick once you kind of have everything assembled. So I did find you can end up with too much rice, and they recommend 1 cup. So I went ahead and measured it just because I feel like that way I won't get ahead of myself. So you just kind of portion it out in each side. And it is that sticky rice. And we'll be doing a couple of these here, so I'll give you the details on what I did. But we're gonna whip this one out really quick. So do you like the different, do you like fish okay, or seafood?
Yeah, I like that kind of stuff with the avocado.
Yeah, okay.
It's just that seaweed thing.
Well,
but here's the other thing, like, box. You could use mashed potatoes. Do something mashed potato. I mean, totally not a sushi taste, but I'm just trying to think of other things you can do with it too.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's just whatever you can make that's the right consistency. So then I am actually going to, there's a little rod that goes in the middle. I am going to grease this because that sticky rice can be a little gummy on there. Okay, so what we do is we take this and we just push down so we have an indent in there. And then we're going to lay out our little ingredients. So the one I'm doing is the classic California roll, which is cucumber, imitation crab, and avocado.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good...
I love all that.
Okay, well good.
Yeah.
So I'm just doing kind of a quickie version here. And the avocado, that's the thing you kind of have to think ahead a little to make sure you have the ripeness going on.
Yeah.
So this is where you can squeeze it a little. Hopefully this isn't even too ripe. And I did leave this to do last, right as we're doing it, because the avocado can get brown on you. And I did find that it's easiest to work with if you cut it like in quarters. So I'm gonna go like that. And it's actually easier than I thought to peel. You just take that right off.
Yeah, yeah.
So then we just do real fine strips of this. And then I'll lay these, put a little on each side. Well, that's really cool and open-minded of you that you're trying it even though you don't like the seafood usually.
Well, yeah, because the other thing is I go to places and I'm like, man, if they had just made it without that dang seaweed,
well, they do.
I probably like it. So this way, you can personalize it.
Yeah,
you get all the good stuff, and I just don't have to put that wrap on.
I think while you're here, we should try that because I've seen it just without it on there. So what we do is lay the plunger back in, and then they say to close it confidently, like real quick. And then you put on this end cap.
Oh.
And then, okay, this is where this version will do the seaweed, and then the next one we'll leave it off and see how it goes.
Yeah.
So we'll take, because I actually haven't even tried that yet, but I have seen pictures where it's not on there. And it does say shiny side down. And it's kind of real dry and crisp to start. And then there's like a screw in there up to a point, And then once it's past that, you just kind of push until you feel some resistance. And not like a huge powerful force, but just till you feel resistance.
Right.
And then take our end cap off. And then you line up the end with your seafood wrap or whatever wrap you're using, the soy paper, rice paper, and you just push it out. And then you just roll this up.
Yeah, because here's what I'm thinking, right? I know that's rice and your typical sushi stuff.
Yeah.
But what if instead of the rice, you use like pinto beans and stuffed stuff in it and then rolled it out on a flour tortilla and then fried it or air fried it?
Well, you're doing that brilliant chef thinking. Yeah, you'll have to.
Yeah, I just like to think of tools.
Yeah, you'll have to.
So I'm kind of excited about this little tool.
So if you saw that, I just took some plain old water and dabbed it on there. I just kind of rubbed my fingers in some water.
Yeah.
And then that's what'll kind of help it to stick. Okay, so then this, I'm going to just set in the refrigerator for like 10 minutes because that paper's a little bit crispy, but once it's been in the fridge, it'll soften and it'll be 20 times easier to cut. So I'm gonna set this in the fridge just while we do our next thing. I wanted to kind of describe what I did with the sushi rice. So I've never actually tried making, I never even thought I would attempt making sushi at home or sushi rolls. I thought it was one of those things you had to have 10,000 hours of training for and just one of those things best left to the professionals. Well, Pampered Chef gave me the confidence to try with this tool. So the first thing you do is you have to make your sticky rice. And that's something I've never really tried before. And there is a couple things you can do wrong. So you want to make sure to follow the directions. And I actually, there's the recipe in the Season's Best Pampered Chef book, but I actually ended up just grabbing the recipe. I subscribed to America's Test Kitchen, and they, do you too? They recommended this rice, the Lundberg organic sushi rice.
Yeah, I love Lundberg.
Okay, so I grabbed that from Amazon. And then their version, I just did it on the stove. It's a cup of rice and 1 1/4 cups water. And that turns out to be like the perfect little batch because I found that 1 cup of rice is the exact amount to make 3 of these rolls. So that's kind of a good benchmark that you can kind of keep in mind. So just follow the directions exactly. It's a matter of, it's made pretty much like regular rice, but then you let it sit for 10 minutes covered. But then here's what I didn't realize about sushi rice. You add a little mixture while it's still warm. You mix together rice vinegar and a little sugar and a little salt. And you stir it together till it dissolves just a little, like a tablespoon. And you toss that into this rice and you toss it in there while it's warm. So that's something I totally did not realize. And you can kind of smell it just a little bit. But it's just enough. Maybe it makes it a little stickier or maybe it adds a little more flavor with it because the rice doesn't really have any flavor by itself. So that's where I'm at here. I did my sushi rice and the vinegar and the sugar and salt mixture is tossed in here. And then of course this mix and scraper is the best one I found to handle this rice with. So that's the rice. And then I learned a couple things with the ingredients. So matchsticks is what you're going for. And by that, do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
It's like the little skinny, and I tend to be like not that particular in cooking. Like I wouldn't be a good particular Japanese chef. I kind of more just made them a little bigger, and I didn't realize it is important. They have to be really skinny because they'll be too fat for your rolls if you don't. So this is kind of what I ended up with, like pretty fine for the matchsticks.
Yeah, they're very particular.
Yeah, and that's awesome and incredible, but I usually just don't have the mental space for that. We're just Pampered Chef home cooks, so.
Yeah.
And then same with the imitation crab meat comes like this. You've probably seen it. And so that's real easy to cut into your long strips like that. And then you can break them too if you need to fit in your roll. So that's the cucumber and the imitation crab. And I also, I found like an imitation lobster too that's in little chunks, so I'll end up trying that one. The other thing with the cucumber, I do believe you definitely want to take out the seeds because you don't want all that watery, like funky stuff in there. So I did scrape out the seeds. So that's where we're at with those. And then the avocado, we'll do just a little bit more here. I think avocados must be in season right now because they're really cheap and they're really good. I know the other alternative thing we were talking about is doing sushi, where you take, it's almost like a fruit roll-up for the outside instead of a seaweed, and then you do like a sweetened rice with like cream of coconut in there, and then whatever fruit, like kiwi, peaches, mango. I think, so I'm going to do that in a couple weeks.
Yeah, or like if I still need a wrap, like if this is a little experiment, if it's better to have some kind of wrap, what can I use that isn't seaweed?
Yeah, so when I watched the other consultant training doing this, she used soy paper, and then they're also using rice paper, like that.
Oh yeah, rice paper.
That same thing they do with spring rolls. It even feels different. It's a lot more just pliable. So the end piece isn't going to be the prettiest. We'll start somewhere. Oh yeah, this is definitely easier with the paper on it.
Yeah.
You don't have to be
I mean, which totally makes sense. It's like the whole container.
Yeah. It's what's keeping it tight and tidy. They cut sliced really well. But that is, you do have to make sure you have a really good sharp knife. That's your other secret weapon besides the tool. So the tool and the really sharp knife. But yeah, so, and we can even, I'll have to do a little taste test here. So, but usually what we do is a little soy sauce, but I actually use these liquid aminos. Do you ever?
Oh, I love liquid aminos.
So this is everything bagel seasoning. So it has like some sesame seeds. So that'll be the perfect little garnish here.
Be good. Yeah, that's good on it.
And that makes it look so picture perfect too. With these.
Yeah, everything bagel is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
that's very good.
You have to remember when you're out and about at the groceries or where they sell packs of sushi, grab some of those disposable sushi chopsticks.
Yeah.
So I'll give this a shot here and see how we're doing. So this tool is just $19. Like if you go to sushi restaurants a lot, this is life-changing. That sushi grade fish is what would really get pricey. But like these, all these are is the imitation crab meat that I got on sale. And these you just get, well, I'm sure whichever version you get, soy or rice paper, it's like 50 sheets. So you're getting those in bulk. But yeah, pretty economically. And then like once you have everything assembled, it's really fast. So it's fun.